So service needs design. I think service needs design more than design needs service, really. And look around you, there's so much service that's really bad, designed. I can give you a couple of anecdotes. When I had my first child in a hospital here in Copenhagen, we went for this health check, which is, I learned, as a standard, and there was a doctor coming in with my first son, which is a pretty emotional experience, and measuring and weighing and doing all these things, and he was very quiet, noted down in his notebook, and then he raised his head and said, "He has a heart disease," and then he went out of the room, and my what? And my wife started, crying, and then I ran out to the nurse, and I said, this is an emergency. My child has a heart disease, And then, oh no, that's just standard procedure, And they told me that 99.9% of all children had a little disorder in the start or something like that, And that's really bad service design. I also sometimes think about the people I learned that bought a student who bought this Motorola phone from Vodafone. It was called the V6 phone, which is a nice phone. And he bought it, and 2 months after he gets the phone, and he opens it, and it's a free phone, which is really a lousy phone. He sends it back, and he gets a letter 1 month after saying, "We're really sorry about this mistake, and we'll improve it." And they send him a new phone. It's the wrong phone, the V3. He sends it back, and this kind of continues for a while until he finally, 12 months after, gets the V6 phone. He opens it, and it doesn't work, right? Then he calls and says, "Well, my phone doesn't work," and they then tell him, "I'm sorry, but your guarantee period has run out, So that's bad service too. Or the people that bought the new Lexus 600, the environmental friendly car, that has one dysfunctionality. Anyone has this car? It's a wonderful car. Except that the navigation system and the built-in phone system doesn't work when you turn on the key. It only works when the car is down, It's not good service design, right? And I'm going to read you a letter from a customer, just to give you one more reason why service really needs design. And it's the do-it-yourself store in Britain called B&Q. And they had this really big leader who sent yacht around the world, and tried to brand the company in great ways. And they got this fantastic letter that I found on the internet, and I think it's a beautiful letter from a customer. And it says, "Dear sir and madam, my congratulations to you on getting a yacht to leave UK the 28th of November 2004, sail 27,354 miles around the world, and arrive back 72 days later. Could you please let me know when my kitchen, I ordered 96 days ago, will be arriving from your warehouse 13 miles away? Yours sincerely, John Roberts." So, my point is really very simple. The world, there's so much business, for designers to improve the simple, design of services, how they are thought of, how they are planned, how people interact with things. And there's so much to do, so there's a big future there. That's my first point. My second point is really that, when I talk to designers, they tend to vastly overestimate their business skills and vastly underestimate their design skills. And I've been working with this issue in my own company. I hire designers, quite a lot of them actually, and trying to figure out what is it they're good at, because I know they're good at something, but there's no book telling me this. No one's telling me, because every time I read a book, they're good at anthropology and all these other things that I don't think they're particularly good at. Anthropologists are really good at anthropology. Designers are lousy at it. They just go out with a camera and come back and say, "This is how the world is," and then they build something. It doesn't work. That's not the way the world is. They're not particularly good economists. They're not good sociologists. They're not good engineers. Some of them are, but not all of them. So I thought, but they are magic. They can do something. And I don't think that designers are artists, Really, I don't think so. I think they're, business people like everybody else, and it's a skill. So this is my own list of why I think designers are great and what they can do. Okay, it might be wrong. It might be scientifically not working, but this is when I think designers do it the best. And it's a list consisting of 5 points. The first one is designers are really good at improving understandability. That is, making things simple, operable, creating clarity, making services and products self-evident, like Lego, for example. That it's obvious what it is. That's when designers are best, taking the essence out of that. Designers, that's the first one. The second one, designers are really good at improving usability. making access easy, giving universal access, thinking about handicapped people, cultural adaptation to different cultures, like, the famous iPod is like that. It's really easy to use. Designers are the best I know to humanize environments, products, messages, and brands, like making them friendly and made for people, basically. That's the third one. The fourth one is CIID designers are expert in selecting materials, shapes that are new, surprising, and strategic. That is packaging, graphics, color, emotions, all those things. Fantastic. And the fifth one is designers are fantastic at adding wit, delight, beauty, and cultural appeal to a company and its offerings. Those 5 things, I don't know who else can do it, but designers for sure can. And then you can go back to Mr. John Roberts, who tried to get his kitchen, right in the right time, and ask yourself, could any of these 5 skills be applied to his problem and make his life better and make the company B&Q a more profitable and successful business? I surely think so. I think there's a great, mix of competences there. My point is basically, when designers do what they're good at, it gives just a much bigger impact than when they're doing what they're not good at. My third point that I wanted to talk about was, the conclusion here from my second point was, focus on the core of what designers are good at and it'll be better. My third point was this thing with forget brainstorming, okay? And the reason why is I've seen quite a lot of service design concepts from students, from very professional design studios, from companies around the world, from presentations, even from governments. And they always tend to have the kind of same feel about them, or assumption, which is, it would be great if we could design the ideal world and then just run away afterwards and let the others implement that world. And I saw a couple of examples of this. I saw a fantastic report that British Design Council did on citizenship in the UK, and they led a bunch of designers to create services around this. And they're a fantastic prototypes. They're beautiful. One of them is, when you vote, you should have a little voter thing for children because they should experience, democracy from childhood. And it's a wonderful thought, but it's not there. Nobody's going to build it, So we are designing stuff because they're great ideas and not because they're implementable. Most of you have also seen some of the service design concepts that mobile telephone companies at the moment are trying to promote, which is, we are not a phone company anymore. It's like nobody wants to be what they are, Now we are music something, we are hip hop something. A music service for a mobile telephone company, which was all about you, and it was designed, it was beautiful and so on. The only thing is, this is the most lousy phone company in the world. The phones don't work, And therefore it doesn't really help to brand it and make it really a nice experience. It's putting icing on the cake. Or I saw this also a fantastic creative project for a car rental company, where the idea was, we're not going to do anything about the car rental itself, but all the things around it, like the peripheral services, like, couldn't it be nice if you could have a shower when you go and rent your car? Couldn't it be nice if the people told you the route you're going at, and they would look after your children, and all these things you can imagine. And they're great ideas, but so far I haven't seen any car companies, deal with this. I haven't seen anyone implement this idea. So why is it that we are coming up with ideas that nobody needs, or nobody can implement? And I basically think it comes down to the brainstorming issue. There's the protocol problem with designers, which is at some point they get off into space and just leave the rest of us on Earth to implement these crazy ideas. And it's wonderful, but it just doesn't work. My own company left brainstorming about a year ago. We officially decided it's not allowed to brainstorm anymore, because it's the whole idea that you solve problems by having quantity of ideas and not quality of ideas. It's not sound. It's great if you have to come up with a slogan or something like that, but not really business problem solving. Then you have to have deep conversations about what does this all mean, and you have to have knowledge, and you have to think also deductive at times. And so that's my basic point.